Yo, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this page, all you'll be talking about is Photoshop, but particularly in this tutorial, you'll be focusing on layers, the color overlay and gradient, the shape tool, text tool, placing picture into Photoshop, how to use the crop tool, and how do you remove background from an image. Without wasting my time, let's dive into Photoshop.
So when you first open Photoshop, this is what we are going to see. So first thing you have to do is create new. So you click on it. It will open this dialog. Then you select the sheet. I prefer A3, so I will select A3, then click on create. So this is what you will see when you first open Photoshop. So first of all, let's learn to do some basic things like creating a shape. You see down here there is a rectangle here, whether a square or rectangle, so let's assume it's a square. You click on it, so you come to your working space, you click, you don't release your hand, then you drag to create. After creating, you just release your hand, it will create a shape. The same thing, you drag, then you create your shape. You see now, although you've drawn a shape, alright, but it is not appearing because there is no color. Our working space is white and the shape we created is also white, so there's no way it will appear. So this brings us to the layers. So these are the layers. You see there's one rectangle here, there's another rectangle here. So before it can appear, you have to apply a color. So if you want to apply a color, you will select the shape in which you want to color. Then you will come to the bottom here, this FX button. You will click on it. Then you will look for color overlay. So you click on it. It will open a dialog. You see the color has changed automatically. So if you don't prefer this color and you want to choose different color, you will click on this small shape here. You will click on it, then you will select the color that you prefer. For instance, let's say if I want yellow, I will drag it from the red to the yellow. Then I will select it here. Then I press OK. Then I'll place OK here again. Let's do same for the second one. You will select, you go to FS, color overlay, then you go to the small shape here, you click, then you select a preferred color for yourself, then you press OK. Let's do same for gradient. So what gradient does is that it applies two colors to one object. For instance, it's the same process. Let me select the first one, go to FS, but this time around I'll select gradient overlay. So what gradient overlay does is that this is a custom one I created, so let's use the normal one. This is how it looks when you first open. So you see the color is blending from white to yellow. This is how gradient looks like. So you can create your own by clicking, then you select this box, then you change the color, you press OK, you press OK. You see it is not displaying. This is because I have ticked the color overlay button, so I have to deselect it, otherwise it won't display. So I press OK. Let me do same for the second one too. I'll go to FS, gradient, then I have to untick this button. Then I'll go to my gradient, then I change the colors. I can create another button by clicking here, then I select my colors. You press OK, your color has been applied. So now you've learned. Let's go through what we've learned. You've learned 1, how to create a shape, 2, how to color. The color comes with two types. We have color overlay and gradient. So let's summarize everything by deleting what we created, then go over again. First, you select your shape tool, you draw by click and dragging. After getting your preferred shape, you release your hand, then you go to FS, you go to color overlay, you select your color, then you press OK. Another OK. Another one, I select my shape tool or my rectangle tool, I draw. This time around we are going to use gradient. I go to FS, gradient overlay, then I want two colors, so I'll select this one, press delete key. I'll select this one, I press my delete key, I press my delete key, then I'll select the first one. I like this color. Okay. Now let's move to the text tool. You have to scroll through your toolbox. You see this T here. You will click on it. Then you see your arrow will change to this type. So you bring it to your working sheet. You will click. It will bring you some text. Make sure to delete it. Then you type your preferred text. So you see this move tool. Anytime you want to select, you want to increase the size of an object that you've created, you have to use this move tool. It is used for selecting, resizing your shape, and etc. So now the text I just typed is too small. I want to increase the size, so I'll click on my move tool, then bring it to the edge. You see it has changed to shape, but when I remove it, it has become a normal pointer. So what you have to do is to bring it to the edge of the text. You click, then you drag it up. You see now it has enlarged. Look at the top here. If I want to color overlay it, you see the FS has become fading. This is because I have to click on this check icon here. The moment I click on it, you see now the FS is working. So the same process as you used to color the shape, I'll go to FS, color overlay, then I select the color that I want. Okay. If I don't want color overlay and I want gradient, the same process, I'll click on the FS, go to gradient overlay, then I'll make sure to untick the color overlay. Other than that, the gradient won't show. Then I press OK. So you click on your text, you click on in your working space, you make sure to clean whatever that appears, you type, you make sure to select your move tool, you bring it to the edge of the text, the arrow will change, you click, you don't release your hand, you drag to make it large, you make sure to click on this check icon, you go to FS, then you color overlay or use your gradient overlay. Now let me show you a quick tip here. You see the reason why layers are very important. Let me enlarge this shape here. You see now the text are not showing. This is because when you check in the layer panel, you can see that the rectangle is on top of the text, hence it is covering it. So if you want the text to show, you have to click and drag and make sure the rectangle is under the text. So now you see it is under the next, so it is displaying. So if I want this one to display, I have to make sure that the rectangle which I use gradient overlay to color it should be under this next. You see it is also displaying the same process. You see, so this is something that you'll be using. Next tip, let's look at how to import pictures into Photoshop. Because when we are doing designs, let's say for food designs or a flyer or banner for a restaurant, you'll be importing images of food and stuffs. So let's look at how you'll be able to import those pictures. What you have to do is that you click on File, then you locate Place Embedded. Then you see this small pop-up will open. So you have to make sure to locate where your images are. For instance, let's say my images are on my second drive. I'll click on this PC and I'll open my second drive. Then I'll locate where my images are. So let's say I want to take image of this meat. Then I'll select it, then click on Place. Let me try it again. I think I have problem with it. So let me use this flower rather. I'll click on it. So it will display here. So I'll make sure to click on this check. It is very simple. So click on File, Place Embedded. You select the image, you click on Place. Very simple. Another thing, let's look at how you'll be able to remove a background from an image. The same process, File, Place Embedded. This time around I'm going to desktop. I have my image on the desktop. So I'll locate my image. I'll locate the image. Let's say I want to use this image. I'll select it and click on Place. Make sure to click on this check icon. It is very necessary. So when I click on it, I'll have to go to my properties. This is my properties. If you don't see this properties options, go to window, then look through. You will see these properties. Make sure it is checked. If yours is not displaying, make sure it is checked. And I recommend Photoshop 2021 Apples for this auto remove background. Then you scroll down. You see right now we are not having remove background here. So what I have to do is that I have to rasterize this image. So I'll come to the layer of the image, then I'll right click on it, then I'll locate rasterized image, then click on it. My image will be rasterized. Right now let me scroll down to the button. You see the remove background is here, so I'll click on it. The background will be removed automatically. Let's wait for the magic.
Man, she chunky monkey. I'm the ice cream man.
You see the magic?
Chunky monkey. All these money hungry hippos wanna love me. All these diamonds dusty.